Ooh, welcome back to another episode of All Things Everything presented by Gulf Coast Smoke. My name is Alonzo.
And I'm Sabrina.
And I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
No, so, it's been funny. We've been talking about this the past few days, and a lot of people are like, they get really mad that you move on to the Christmas holiday right after Halloween, before Thanksgiving, and you basically skip Thanksgiving. It's like, we're not skipping Thanksgiving at all. We just love the Christmas spirit, so we definitely want to start decorating everything up and making everything look really cool at the house. And the kids love Christmas. We love Christmas. We're trying to get some hot cocoa and some Christmas movies and get the Christmas tree up and stuff like that. So, that's just something that we like to do.
We usually do that right after my birthday.
Yeah.
That's something we like to do is we'll go start decorating. But, I mean, the thing is, stores put out Christmas decorations like so soon that it's like if you wait until it's actually December, everything's gone, right? So we're trying to do it as soon as possible.
Well, it also just gets you in the spirit when you see everything and you see everybody doing stuff already, and it's like, man, I want to do that too. So I just figured I'd start the podcast with a quick little joke. It's obviously not Christmas. We still got Thanksgiving, and we are going to enjoy Thanksgiving with the family. But speaking of Thanksgiving, that's kind of going to be the topic of today. We're going to talk about some of the things that are going on coming up for us and just what we plan on doing. So obviously a huge thing is turkey, right? For Thanksgiving, turkey is huge. Ham is huge. Green bean casserole is huge. Macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, whatever. So we just wanted to sit down and talk about a few recipes and what is your favorite way to eat turkey. So I'll go ahead and start with that. What is your favorite way to eat turkey? It can be whole turkey, just the breast, fried, whatever. Like, what's your favorite way to eat it and why?
So I typically prefer white meat when it comes to turkey. Now, I love like a classic oven roasted turkey on Thanksgiving, but I will say, ever since you've been making smoked turkey breast, it really is just so much juicier. It has so much more moisture. And to me, I think it's like the perfect size. Now, I know aesthetically it doesn't look as cool, right, when you don't make that giant turkey and you slice it up for the whole family. But, I mean, those turkey breasts, you can't beat them. I mean, I think it's a perfect size, too, if you have a smaller family, if you don't do a large gathering during Thanksgiving. So I think I do prefer the smoked turkey.
Sure. Yeah, so, I mean, I do love smoked turkey breast. It's really, really, really hard to beat. We actually just put out a video this week on a smoked turkey breast that we made on the Weber Smoky Mountain, and it came out outrageous. It really, truly did. And, I've actually had a few people reach out to me about the turkey breast and how it turned out and how everything kind of looked. And I had a few people reach out to me, on messages and stuff, and like, hey, the injection marks were there. And I just wanted to bring it up really quickly. The only reason the injection marks were there is because we didn't strain it.
Right.
We strain it every single time we go to competition. We didn't feel it was necessary. We wanted to get that flavor in there. We wanted that pepper inside of there. Yeah, I mean, you can see some of the injection marks, but really it's not a big deal. And if you guys want to, you can absolutely strain it, and it will make everything a lot more visibly pleasing. So again, we use Trifecta in our competition chicken injection, our rib injection, and our pork injection. Literally. We've never had any issues with streaking. It's just because we didn't strain it. So I just wanted to bring that up really quickly. But beyond that, the turkey breast was just so incredibly delicious. And you could taste the butter that we injected in there. You could taste the Trifecta. And it really just came through so, so good. I think that's definitely got to be up there with one of the favorite pieces of turkey I've ever had in my life. Now, I will also say this. When I was younger, probably around 13 or so, one of my good friends, one of my best friends of all time, Eric Robb, his dad fried a turkey, and I'll never forget it. It was the first time I had ever had a fried turkey, and it was amazing. It was so good. That was the first time I had ever had it, but man, just something about that fried turkey. It turned out really good. So I do like fried turkey as well. We've done a chicken fried turkey. We actually haven't done just a standard fried turkey, not for a video and not in a really, really, really long time, but I do think fried turkey is really good and hard to beat. But I'm with you. It's, traditionally speaking, it is so hard to beat a large oven roasted turkey. Like, that's just always been the way it's been made at my family's house. And so it feels traditional. It looks traditional. And, of course, it always tastes pretty good. Well, I say that, right? But, man, you know me. To be 100% honest, I'm really not hugely into Thanksgiving, the meal.
Right.
Because I'm not a huge fan of green bean casserole. And I'm more of a sides guy and like rolls. And
Right.
turkey is okay to me. It's not like, oh my gosh, I love it. Now, again, like you said, since we've started smoking it and we kind of figured it out and we started injecting it with butter and all the good stuff, man, it's really, really delicious. And I do think like a good smoked turkey breast is really hard to beat.
But here's the thing about cooking whole turkeys
Mm-hmm.
is because you're trying to make sure that dark meat is done. Most of the time, the breast dries out. So I think that's why, for most people, they're not a big fan of turkey because a lot of people like the breast, whether it's with chicken or turkey, even though it seems like unpopular opinion, right? Like you would assume everybody likes the dark meat, but
Yeah.
I think especially with turkey having so many, like so much of the like ligaments and whatever in it, the collagen, but it has so much of that stuff. So people typically for a turkey prefer the white meat, but it always comes out so dry because you're cooking it whole. And I think that's the advantage of doing a smoked turkey breast or a turkey breast individually is that you can really control the moisture in it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that. And it's because, I mean, it's like the same thing with competition chicken, right? Like it's hard to nail the breast and the thigh at the same time and turn it at half. It is.
Right.
And it's the same exact way with a whole turkey. I mean, it's almost even harder. And you have that large cavity of just void, right? Basically. And you're trying to figure out a way to make it cook evenly. Sometimes people will stuff it with aromatics, or even I've seen people like with citrus. So, there's a lot of different ways to try and make it to where it's an even cook and a really, really smooth cook for you. But it is hard, in my opinion, to beat a nice smoked turkey breast and or a fried turkey. Fried turkey just turns out, so good. But, man, I mean, we talk about turkey. What about ham? Are you a huge fan of ham? So, like, again, you guys are going to have to remember, and I love talking about it because, like, for example, even like my mom, the other day I was like, Mom, let me make smoked turkey for Thanksgiving. And she's like, no, mijo, you can't do that. And I'm like, why not, Ma? And she's like, mijo, I always bake it, mijo. I do. I'm like, yeah, I know, Mom, but like, I promise I can make it really damn good. I promise you I can make it really, really good. And she's like, no, mijo, you can bring maybe a couple of turkey breasts, but like that's it, or just one turkey breast. I'm like, all right, well, never mind. I just won't do it. But it's like it's hard to break away from that tradition, but I feel like that's the only way I've really gotten into loving turkey.
Right.
And knowing that, man, a good smoked turkey breast is so hard to beat, especially that one that we made in that video. I'm telling you, like on the Weber Smoky Mountain, which just cooks everything so smoothly and so easily. I've talked about this before, and I know you guys are probably tired of me saying it. For the money, the Weber Smoky Mountain is the best smoker you can buy. I genuinely feel that. It's just that good and that easy. How long have we had that Weber Smoky Mountain?
Oh, that's got to be like one of our oldest smoker that we own.
I mean, it's probably like 7 years old.
Yeah, for sure. We
I mean,
got
this
it,
is like
just barely after we moved
bought
into our
that.
house.
This is
Yeah.
before we're making videos.
Right.
This is before any of that stuff. We're not making content. We literally were. I was watching, Malcolm Reed and T. Roy Cooks and Baby Back Maniac and those guys, and I'm like, man, I want a Weber Smoky Mountain. Now, Malcolm, I don't think he's ever used one that I've seen on video, but Baby Back Maniac, T. Roy Cooks.
When we would watch Barbecue Pitmasters, what was it? Harry Sue?
Yeah, Harry Sue. Yeah, he used
would use them?
he used them as well. And it's like, man, it was really just something that I wanted, and we got it, and we have literally had that same exact smoker since that day.
Yeah.
We have not changed out grates. We have not changed out charcoal grates. We have not done anything. Now, we were cleaning it the other day before our video, and we did kind of notice, like, we probably need some new grates. They're rusting up just a little bit, but I mean, it's been such a good smoker. So if you guys are ever interested in getting a new smoker, like a bullet smoker, definitely Weber Smoky Mountain. And I've talked about this before also. If you want a big boy, if you want a bad mamba jamba, Outlaw, definitely the way to go. We did a smoked turkey breast on the Outlaw too recently, and just, I mean, I don't know. The Weber Smoky Mountain and the Outlaw, like if you have those two smokers at your house with a griddle of some sort, you got it all. You can do anything on those things, man. They're just such good tools to have.
Yeah, because like the Weber Smoky Mountain can be turned into a kettle if needed.
Literally, and we've showed how to do that in, I think, like a short or something like that.
Yeah.
We never really went into it that much, but man, so yeah, I mean, we're talking about turkey, and I started to mention it. But what about ham? Are you big on ham? So again, we're talking about traditions. Man, like traditionally, I'm pretty sure, we eat ham with it's already cut, it's already pre-cut, it's already pre-cooked. My mom would put the pineapple and the cherries around it, and maybe put like a honey glaze or something over it. But we've done some that turned out really, really good. And we haven't done any ham in a couple of years actually, because I feel like for a few years there we were like just killing it on hams, not killing it, but like we were pushing the ham really, really hard. So we haven't done a ham piece of content in a while, which I think we can definitely probably do another one this year, but we'll see. But ham, I mean, what do you think about ham? Personally, if I have ham or turkey at Thanksgiving, like I'm 90% going towards the ham anyway. That's just me.
Yeah, so most people are going to do their ham in the crock pot.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing is growing up, that's like normal, right? And the same with a turkey. They're practically overcooked.
Yeah.
I'll just say it. Most people, growing up, they weren't using thermopens. They weren't using thermometers to check the internal temperature of these things, right? So they're just cooking them low and slow for a long time and making sure it's actually cooked, right? And with those hams, they're already cooked. You just have to heat them up. So then they're going in the crock pot for like all day, right?
Yeah.
So growing up, I thought, oh, that's good because it's in the crock pot with all those juices, so you can get away with it being dry. So yeah, I would typically go more ham. In general, though, with Thanksgiving, I am a sides person. Like I like my green bean casserole, I like my sweet potatoes, and that's the majority of my plate. And then I'll do like a little bit of other things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when it comes to the protein for Thanksgiving, I'm going just a little bit of turkey. And a little bit of ham. I do like turkey for leftover things, like maybe turkey soup, turkey pot pie, things like that.
Yeah.
But on the actual day of Thanksgiving, I'm just doing a little bit of each. But I usually would prefer the ham because it is on the less dry side because it's sitting in the crock pot with all those juices. Now, I will say, once again, like most things, when we started cooking them ourselves, like we've done the Weber Kettle hams, and that was really good because we're just heating it to that point of it still being juicy. We're not overcooking it like you would in a crock pot or in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
So that ham I really, really, really do like. I think that's a very good ham. So when you put that into perspective, the ham on the Weber Kettle or like the turkey breast on the Smoky Mountain or the offset, I mean, those are really good. And I think they're both up to par with each other. So it's hard to choose between those two. Yeah. But I think it's one of those things where if you just try these recipes at home, it's going to make your outlook on Thanksgiving so different because you don't realize that you can make these things juicy. Everybody just assumes that turkey needs to cook for a long time to make sure it's done. Everybody assumes that ham needs to go in the crock pot for a long time to make sure it's done. But I think if you cook these things right, it really can change your Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that you mentioned the Weber Kettle, and that's another thing that we should talk about a little bit because man, even while we had the Weber Smoky Mountain, there's so many times we figured out how to use the Weber Kettle as a smoker, just two zones, right? Yeah. You have a voided zone where there's no charcoal at all, and then you have your charcoal on one side, and you just push it all the way. I mean, the slow and sear and these attachments are great.
Yeah.
You do not need them, though. You really, truly do not, like, at all. And we've done a lot of stuff on our Weber Kettle where we had no attachments, and things turned out really, really good. And a lot of the times when it comes to the Weber Kettle, if I'm being honest, I'm kind of one of those guys like, man, I don't care what the temperature is. Like, just keep it, as long as it's not 600 degrees, right? If it's anything 325 and lower, I'm cool. Just keep it to one side. I'll keep my meat to one side. If it's a brisket or something, I'll rotate it.
Right.
If it's ribs, I'll rotate them. If it's chicken, I'll rotate it. Like, whatever it is, absolutely can make it work. So just some really, really good tools for Thanksgiving. If you guys are interested in doing something on a pit or on a grill, you absolutely can smoke on a grill as well. 100%. And I think that just talking about it, that's a really good video for us to redo. We haven't done that in a long time. And it's like, it's intimidating to some people if you've never done it. But man, I'm telling you, like, throw some charcoal in there, light it up, keep the, how like the flap opens on the Weber Kettle lid. Keep the flap on that side. Throw more in there if you need. If it gets too hot, man, just shut all the vents down real quick. It's not that big of a deal. But man, it really truly is something that you can do so many things. And like Sabrina said, all you're doing is reheating. So you basically get that ham to 145, you pull it off.
Yeah.
right? It's already cooked. You're just trying to get it back to a safe temperature to where you could eat it again. But it is
Right.
fully cooked already. Not
Right.
like turkey. Obviously, you want to take turkey further, but if you go watch our video that we made this week, you'll see that we took that turkey breast to 152. Literally took it off the smoker and did not cook it anymore. We wrapped it in foil with butter. The residual heat took it all the way to whatever a safe temperature was. I don't even know what the ending temperature was, but I can promise you that turkey breast was 100% safe to eat.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can see it in the video, fully cooked, delicious, tender, just really, really good. But yeah, I mean, that's ham and turkey, and those are probably the two most popular proteins when it comes to Thanksgiving. But you've already mentioned a few of them, like sides. When it comes to sides, what's on your plate?
Well, and real quick, I also think that if you, in your family, if you get somebody to cook those proteins outside, you're freeing up so much room in your oven because a lot of the times at Thanksgiving gatherings, the turkey's still cooking, and then everybody's waiting to throw in all these sides to warm up.
Yeah.
So I think if you free space in your oven for those sides and do everything that you could outside,
Yeah.
that really, really frees up your time for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, I'm a big green bean casserole person.
Sure.
Even more so sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
I absolutely love like a good mashed sweet potato, the marshmallows on top. I like to do like a crumble as well, like with some pecans mixed in. Which
That's my favorite thing about Thanksgiving. Literally,
Yeah.
right there.
And I think I wouldn't consider it a dessert. I feel strongly that it's a side, although I probably eat it more like a dessert.
Yeah.
But yeah, I strongly consider that a side. So those are like my two go-tos. I'm definitely, if I'm getting turkey, I'm going gravy and mashed potatoes for sure. And I usually eat that like together, mixed in its own little thing. God, what other sides?
So I mean, there's
I'm
green
okay
bean
with
casserole.
stuffing.
There's stuffing. There's like Chance was telling me his mom makes like a corn casserole.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you mentioned it already, macaroni and cheese, which
Oh
we
yeah,
actually
this year, our macaroni and cheese we're definitely
our,
making.
Our macaroni and cheese this year has been fire, and we made a short on it that I posted on TikTok a couple days back, and then if you're listening to this on Friday, yesterday we posted we posted it on Facebook and on YouTube in short version, and Instagram in short version. So if you guys are interested in any of these long form, let us know. But I think that there's enough information there, short version wise, for you guys to catch the drift and really make this recipe really, really good. So the one thing that we really noticed that turned out good for us with our macaroni and cheese or has been is I know a lot of people like putting a lot of different types of cheeses in there, and that's fine. Do whatever but we like just sticking with a nice cheddar and some Velveeta. It makes for just such a good creamy macaroni and cheese. It melts really well. Of course, shred your own. Don't use any of the stuff in the bag because it has that like starchy texture on the outside,
Right.
and it makes it a little bit harder for it to actually melt.
Yeah, because it's meant to make those shredded cheese pieces not stick together.
Yeah.
So if you've ever shredded your own cheese and you leave it sitting there, you notice they all start sticking together.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a recipe that I've been making for
The
years.
kid, yeah,
years.
the kid.
It used to be on our website before we deleted our recipes
No,
on accident.
no. Before I
Yeah.
deleted them.
So it's a recipe that's been
And that's also really, really fast, really quick, just to cut you off for a second. That is one of our main goals right now. We are trying to find a way that we can get our recipes back onto our website because we understand that there's I had somebody text me today and they're like, hey man, what's the homemade ranch recipe?
right.
And then
yeah.
I have it, I know it, but it's like we need to start taking pictures and we need to get these things on the website.
Yeah.
It just makes it so much easier for everybody. And man, it is really, really, really awesome to know that there are actually people even making those things anyway.
Yeah.
And they want to know those things. It's like, so we're that's a huge goal of ours. Go ahead and continue talking about what you were talking about.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, this is a recipe that we've been making for a really, really long time.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids, I mean, most kids in general love macaroni, and I'm not a big fan of using the box stuff, and that's not to dog on anyone else who does. But when your kids go through a phase where they're eating a lot of just macaroni, chicken nuggets, you want to try and do your best to I guess make it not that this is a healthy recipe by any means, but it's like making it homemade is at least a little bit better than using like the cheese powder, right? So
Yeah, what is the cheese powder anyway?
I don't know.
Anyway, whatever.
Yeah. So
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm the healthiest guy ever, right? Like,
right. Yeah.
whatever.
But the Velveeta really helps to
Like, what even is Velveeta?
yeah, I know. That's probably not the healthiest thing either. But the Velveeta does help, and it's a smaller amount than the cheddar because it's meant to bring the cheese sauce together and make it
kind of like binds it.
Exactly. Because cheddar, if the heat is too high, it's going to separate and curdle. So the Velveeta cheese really helps to make it more cohesive of a sauce.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the shells, too. Something about the shells. And it's got to be the medium. I bought the small the other day, and I was like, oh, this isn't the same thing.
Yeah, it's got to be the medium.
It's got to be the medium size shells.
And that's the thing, right? So, like, a lot of people, and I think it was it my sister or my mom or somebody the other day? They, like, don't believe that I actually make these recipes on the videos. They're like, wait, Sabrina made this, right? I'm like, no, I made it. I'm like, she was telling me what to do, but, like, I made it. And they're like, nah, Sabrina made this. I'm like, no, I made it. Like, I had to make it. It's on camera.
Like, you're on camera, yeah.
You can see me making it. And the cool thing about that is actually seeing you do it and feeling it is honestly miles apart. Because then you do actually get the understanding. Like, if you guys watch the video, if you pay really, really, really close attention, you'll notice that my first pour of milk was kind of like really timid because I didn't really understand what I was going for. Then my second, third, and fourth pours were aggressive because I'm like, okay, I get the feel of what I'm going for. I need to get these clumps out. And then it's like I was able to talk more naturally along with you guys. Hey, let's get these clumps out. This is really important. Right. Because I felt it and I could tell. And then whenever I did put in the Velveeta, that's why I was saying, like, I look at it as like a little bit of a binder because I could feel it. I could feel it all coming together. And I'm like, okay, I really do understand what we're doing here. And then just again, like the shells, noticing that the cheese literally gets stuck on the inside of the shell. And it's like you bite it and it's almost like a gusher.
Right.
It's almost like a gusher, except for there's just like a pocket of cheese in there. And it's so good. And that's one of the favorite things. That's one of my favorite things, let me say it correctly, about actually making these recipes. Like even the other day when I made the green bean casserole. Yes, I made it. Yes, Sabrina told me what to do, but yes, I made it. But it's really cool because then I'm more seeing the side of like what she does, right? Like a lot of the times Sabrina has cooked on the channel and she smoked things on the channel, but a lot of the times I never jump to her side. Like literally never. Sabrina will, like, she's down to, hey, I know you're coming home late from work. Like, I'll go buy some steaks and I'll grill them. Or I'll go buy some chicken and I'll make it. Or I'll cook the wings today or whatever. And Sabrina can sometimes, she'll more often come to, I guess, my side of it than I ever will to hers. And whenever I do actually go to her side, I realize, like, man, even cooking a pie or the macaroni and cheese or the green bean casserole, like, there is some, I don't want to say skill necessarily, but there's some you have to have some sort of understanding about what you're doing in order to make a successful dish. Because I could see how if you don't get your roux and your bechamel right, how you could get a really, really grainy macaroni and cheese. Yeah. And or something that's like dried out because you just didn't do it right. And I'm not saying I did it perfectly, but I will say it turned out really good. Yeah. Like, I was very, very happy with my first real attempt at making homemade macaroni and cheese. I've had it from Sabrina, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of times, but it was a really successful, outcome for me as well. And it's cool to feel that, like, you feel the process of something different. And if you guys are out there and you're wanting to try this for the first time, I'm here to tell you, like, just literally don't be afraid. Don't be timid. I think that's probably one of the worst things you could do. Feel confident in what you're doing. And, man, have fun with it, for sure.
And worst case, and I've made this recipe so many times, and there's times where I even get my lumps don't, come out well because my whisk was dirty, and I was like, let me just use a spatula. What I do is I have one of the handheld blenders, and I'll, like, if you're doing it I always make my sauce in a saucepan, though. So if I have to, I'll pour it into like a large bowl and blend all those lumps out, pour it back into my pan, and then start adding my cheeses. So there is a way to save it from those clumps. So don't overthink it too much if you want to try it. I mean, that's the most difficult part of this recipe, right? But it is very simple. It's just equal parts butter and flour.
I mean, I literally got it. I mean,
Yeah.
I was able to get it the first time, thankfully. Now, again, I did have Sabrina on the sidelines coaching me for sure. I'm not going to sit here and deny that. I will never deny that. But, it was a successful and good recipe. So macaroni and cheese is a huge one for us.
Yeah.
Now, another one that people really like is the broccoli casserole,
Yeah.
which I will say that I'm a pretty decent fan of the broccoli casserole. It's like rice, broccoli, cream of mushroom, and cheese only, I think, right?
Something like that. I'm not too hot on that.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, I'll eat it. I'll
yeah.
eat it for sure. But I'm interested to see if there's anybody out there that has some unique sides that we could maybe try next year, or even before Thanksgiving this year, and then we can kind of turn out and say, man, that's really delicious. Some of the things that we love right now in general, like broccoli casserole, broccoli salad,
Ooh, yeah.
that was shown to us by somebody else that I don't think we ever would have really done.
Yeah.
And so we love getting ideas from people because that's how you kind of collaborate and you grow and you become better at what you're doing. And yeah, so if you guys have any sides that you really like for Thanksgiving, definitely let us know in the comments because we're all ears on recipes. That's for dang sure.
Oh, deviled eggs. That's a
Deviled
big
eggs
one.
is a huge one. And then, but like it's so simple yet so Toy, Bud's mom,
Mm-hmm.
she's actually the one that started, like, the first time I ever had deviled eggs with bacon on top was Toy's. And
Yeah.
then she was also mixing in jalapenos. And it's like, okay, these are extra fire. So, there's definitely a lot of different ways to do things, more than one way to skin a cat. And, man, I love the creativity sometimes. I'm not even saying Toy came up with that or anything, but that was the first time I'd ever had it because, like we talked about, it's tradition.
Right.
It's
yeah.
hard. It's hard to break tradition.
Well, it's hard to get other family members on board too.
Yeah,
when you're
like
doing
my
it with the whole
like
family.
my mom.
Yeah.
My mom, and you know what? I love my mom so much. I don't want to break tradition, but I was just looking at a way that I could bring some.
She
smoked
actually
turkey.
really did like the turkey, though. She even said,
Yeah.
because she doesn't like things that are too smoky, and she said, "Oh, this isn't too smoky. I like this."
But the thing I tried to explain to mom is like, not saying that we know what we're doing, but like when somebody is well versed with their smoker or well versed with smoking in general, they're able to create a clean fire, and you're not gonna taste dirty smoke. That's
Right.
just the way I look at it. But either way, mom ended up liking it, so
yeah.
we'll see. But and also, are there any people that do not do turkey and ham at all?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I know some people that do like enchiladas, rice and beans.
Ooh, that
Yeah,
would
which
be
would-
a good Thanksgiving.
Shoot.
I think like Sam and Nathan, if it's like just them, they'll do like chickens, like some whole chickens or one or two chickens if they're small, because it's just them.
Yeah, I mean, Mason ain't gonna eat no chicken.
Oh, that dude might.
Yeah, he probably actually would.
Yeah.
He probably actually would. But
That's
either
what
way,
the other day my mom was like, "Oh, he's getting so big. He's ready for Alonzo's briskets," and we're like, "Oh, he already."
yeah,
rub some ribs.
he's already eating ribs and brisket, and he's he can munch. He can munch for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, we wanted to start off by talking about Thanksgiving. It's a huge holiday coming up that we're not forgetting about. We're not forgetting about it. But one of the other things that I kind of wanted to bring up was our plans as Gulf Coast Smoke for Thanksgiving, or not necessarily Thanksgiving, but for the upcoming weeks. So here at the shop on November, what day is it?
I thought you said the 16th.
Oh gosh, hold on. Yeah, that's the wrong day. So here at the shop on November 23rd, we are actually planning on doing a turkey breast demo. And what we're going to try and do is we're going to show you guys how to it's hard. I've been kind of thinking about this because I'm thinking like, how are we going to show them how to inject the turkey breast, then put it on, then show them the wrapping stage, and then put it, like, the turkey breast will be done at different times. More than anything, I'm thinking, man, maybe let's just have them done and we can kind of explain what we did. Hey, we did this, we injected, this is what the powder is going to look like once you're done. 2 sticks of butter, wrapped it. I don't know. I think we could do the wrapping portion for sure live, but the injecting part, I don't really think that's going to work out because the timing is not going to time. I don't think. But either way, our plan is to try and do some sort of a turkey demo and or turkey taste testing. We're going to season it up with trifecta. We're going to inject it with trifecta and some butter, just the same exact way we did that video the other day. And, yeah, I'm really hoping to get people out to the shop to try out this turkey and give them some ideas on how they can make turkey for their family and or friends or whoever they're going to be cooking for. And, of course, it's to get people out to the shop, talk about Gulf Coast Smoke, talk about barbecue, talk about what we're doing, what we hope to do. And, I mean, we're really excited about the opportunity to do that, and that's going to be something we do here on the 23rd. And then, of course, we're looking for ideas of something to do in December. January, February, every single month we'll try and do something. December might be kind of hard, but we'll try and figure something out for maybe even like January and February and all that stuff. So, yeah, if you guys are in the area or if you feel like traveling, come on down. We're going to definitely be doing something on the 23rd. I haven't made any announcements just yet, but we will put out some announcements and on times and all that stuff within the upcoming week or so, and hopefully we'll see you guys for sure.
Yeah, I think most people, and I know we've talked about like sticking to tradition, I think there's a lot of people out there who are looking for something different because sometimes you do get a little tired of the same turkey, and there's, families that are trying to make new traditions. So, yeah, if you're looking for a different way to eat turkey, definitely come check this out because, if you've never had really good smoked turkey, it's going to change your mind about turkey for sure.
No, I definitely agree. I 100% agree with that. And I think that my mind was definitely changed on it for sure because I have definitely been the person. How many times did I say definitely in the past minute? Jeez. I am the person that did not like Thanksgiving dinner. I just didn't. And I would even tell you that. Like, man, I'm not really looking for. Of course, I'm looking forward to be with the family. And that's about it. But we do lunch anyway. So,
yeah.
But,
That's another thing is who does lunch and who does dinner. Because I grew up doing strictly dinner mostly because, it took forever just to get everything finished.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it wasn't until I met you that I started experiencing the lunchtime Thanksgivings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's probably close to 50-50, I would assume. Yeah. I would assume a lot of people will do lunch, a lot of people will do dinner. And, kind of just whatever, I don't know. But that's kind of what we wanted to talk about when it came to Thanksgiving and when it came to turkey and then when it came to doing some stuff here at the Gulf Coast Smoke HQ. Like I said, we really look forward to that. Hopefully we can see all of you guys really, really soon. We actually are going to have to end up getting our food handlers and stuff like that. So you and I have to work on that within the next couple of days. And I'm going to call up Chance V and tell him he's got to get one too because he's like my right-hand man anyway. So most of the time whenever we do stuff, he's here. So I'm going to tell him, that he's going to end up having to do that. Speaking of Chance, not sure if he'll want me to talk about it, but I'm going to anyway. Last Saturday, we had the privilege of going out to Victoria. We met them in Victoria, him and Danielle, which are two people that have been on the channel, two people that have been a huge part of our lives, not just Gulf Coast Smoke, but just people that have become really, really great family friends. And Chance is definitely one of my best friends and somebody that I love with all of my heart. And last Saturday, he ended up proposing to Danielle, and we were there with the kids. And it was me, you, the kids, Chance, and Danielle, and it was a really, really cool, special moment. I actually cried. I cried.
Man,
Chance didn't even cry, and I cried. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Because Danielle was just so shocked.
She was shocked.
So cool.
It was so cool. It was truly so cool because. So when he, got down on a knee and started like talking or whatever, she was just like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe this.
Yeah.
And she was like, thankfully, it was funny because she was like, well, thankfully I got my nails done.
Yeah.
And we were kind of like laughing and having a good time there. And, but anyway, to make a long story short, we had a great day with them and we are excited for them. And of course we send all the best well wishes for their marriage and love and happiness for a lifetime. I mean, I know we're not going anywhere, right? We're going to see them and we're going to be with them a lot, but it was really, really special to be a part of that. I think that's the first like engagement thing I've ever really been a part of. Oh, and that's also makes it mean a lot, right? Cuz like Chance asked, us to be there. And just goes to show how close of friends him and I are. And I mean, I talk to that dude literally every day.
Yeah.
He'll text me. We'll be texting at 5:30 in the morning when we wake up. So, Chance is a great dude. I'm super happy for him and Danielle, and I know that they're going to be really, really happy for a long time. So, it was a blessing to be able to be there with them, and, Well, you guys will be seeing Chance and Danielle for years to come around here. That's for sure. I mean, hopefully one of these days we'll all be working together every single day. Danielle can maybe be like our teacher or something. I don't know. We got big dreams. But so one of the other things that we wanted to talk about today was the American Royal. And the American Royal is something that recently just finished this past weekend. And I'm going to first go off and say that I most definitely had FOMO. Like watching, so I don't know how many. I mean, I'm sure you have like some barbecue friends that we both know mutually on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But my Facebook is just like I have so many barbecue friends. So I ended up seeing a lot of people do really, really well, and I got FOMO because I'm like, man, I wish I was there. Like I'm pretty sure Kevin and Bobby were there, Reggie Q was there, Coyote Cooker, Sergio was there. John from the chopping block was there. Bill, Phil was there. Just, I'm obviously missing a lot of people, but man, I just saw so many people. Fred was there, and it's like, man, we should be there. We should be there, and that was that feeling that kind of came across, like, man, we really need to be there. But
well, I told you though, if you think about it, the American Royal is an event where you go in and you don't get to, take your stuff out until the thing is over, right? You got to have all of your stuff in there, and you can't take it out until it's over.
Mm-hmm.
We have that little trailer,
mm-hmm.
which works well for us when we're only staying somewhere for one night.
Yeah.
But when we go together. So to have all 5 of us, the kids included, there, and we can't shower.
Yeah, well, I did find out that like most everybody leaves and goes to a hotel every night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
okay.
That's basically what they do. But either way,
well, that makes sense.
Well, either way, I definitely got a lot of FOMO, and I was hoping that I was wishing like, man, we should have been there, we should have gone. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and we will hopefully go next year, or one of these years. Hopefully, we will go.
Well, and the reason we didn't go this year is because
Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween fell on one of the days, and our kids are still little. And we all always go to your mom and dad's house.
Mm-hmm.
And so out of all of the family members, our kids are the youngest, and then there's Levi, who's the next youngest, right? So it's going to get to a point where they outgrow that, right? So I think those are really important memories, especially for your mom and just us as them being kids, right?
Yeah.
So
no, I agree. I mean, I'm comfortable with our decision, but I definitely saw, some friends get some really big calls, and it's like you have a 0% chance of getting that call if you don't go.
Right.
Even if our chances were just 0.1%, it's still 0.1% as opposed to 0 being at the house. But it's okay. I mean, congrats to Tim and Jackie Milligan. They actually hit a first-place brisket over there.
Nice.
John from the chopping block and his partner, they got a third-place brisket.
Oh, cool.
Both using briskets from the chopping block, so that's huge for them.
Yeah.
Fred Robles, first-place perfect score pork.
Yeah,
it's just
awesome.
Amazing. I mean, Bill walked away with 5 ribbons. If I'm not mistaken, I think Sergio and his team, I think maybe they teamed up with somebody, or I don't know the exact, but I'm pretty sure I saw like Sergio and them with some ribbons. 360 Barbecue, James and Burley, I'm pretty sure they walked away with a vegetable ribbon. It just, so many people were there. So many people did well. I'm pretty sure Reggie Q and his wife, they walked away with some ribbons, and we genuinely happy for everybody. So I think that the American Royal is such a huge event that if you go over there and just being able to walk on the stage one time, I think is gigantic. So really, really happy for everybody that was able to get out there and do really well. And then that kind of brings up our plans for the rest of the year for competition-wise. And I think I even texted you today, and I was like, man, if we're not going to do another competition this year, let's use that snake. We have a snake at the house right now that's in the freezer. I was like, let's use that snake for a video. Let's do something with that snake. And I don't know. I mean, looking at it, I don't really see too many opportunities for us to go again to a competition, strictly because we do like focusing on making content. We have a lot of opportunities to make content for Thanksgiving, and then Christmas is coming up. And then I've got some vacation in December. Like, I'm literally off for like 3 weeks in December, and we do want to spend some time together as a family. We will be spending some time together as a family, and we'll be going out of town and doing some stuff. I won't talk about it too much because the kids are right over there. But, so there's going to be probably not much time for us to go to another competition this year. We thought about it. We were looking at it, and we're like, man, we're actually not doing too bad in the state of Texas when it comes to, like, we're 17th in Texas in ribs, and I think like 23rd or 24th overall. And we've done exactly 10 contests, which is exactly what they register. They register 10. So I was telling you, I was like, man, if we go hard the rest of the year or the rest of the season, which is like 4 more comps, man, maybe we can jump up a few steps. We're not going to get into the top 10. We're not going to get number 1. But I think anything that we could get is definitely really, really nice. And that would be a great showing for us as a team to not do that many events and have such a strong showing. So
Right.
it's something we're always thinking about what we can do for the brand, right? Like,
Right.
what can we do to, get our seasonings out there more? What can we do to, do this more or whatever? And a lot of the times things come up, and I definitely think us focusing on the holidays and content there is going to be big. We're working on some stuff to get some bundles together for the holidays and some custom boxes. So we've got some plans. We've got some big plans. Hopefully you guys enjoy them.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that could up our brand. We need one of those smokers that Phil got at the American Royal.
Smokers.
Or the Gateway. Sorry, not smoker. That custom Gateway.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
That was cool.
Dude, okay, if anybody's out there and they're listening, did you guys see that Gateway drum that Phil got? Absolutely disgusting in the best way possible. It looks like a bottle of Hendrench.
Yeah.
Which is his first product he ever made. And it's like, dude, that thing is nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty. I saw it and I was like, I
need one.
I told Sabrina, I was like, dude, look at this drum.
Yeah.
Look at this drum. And she was like, dude, that is sick. So, yeah, one of these days, I would definitely love to be in a position where we could buy a bunch of bottles of like Southern Hospitality and give them out to people that like, that have helped us a lot. And I don't know, that thing was stupid sick. I cannot believe how amazing that thing came out. Well, I mean, I technically can because Gateway does some crazy stuff, but man, I cannot believe how amazing it came out. It's
I was like, so genius. Like
a bottle of Hendrench. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Why haven't we thought of that?
And then the last thing that we'll talk about today is just really getting into that December mode, and it's right around the corner. Believe it
Yeah.
or not, it's just right around the corner. So we're thinking about those Christmas recipes and what people traditionally will have for Christmas. So I feel like there's lots of cookies, lots of treats. We've made like the Christmas trash before, which really tastes so good. And then whenever I think about Christmas recipes, I almost think about like prime rib or even like a nice brisket or maybe even a brisket in the oven.
Yeah, and I didn't
Like
realize,
a roast. Any
Yeah.
roast, really.
I didn't realize people did turkeys again for Christmas, or they
Yeah, I
do a ham again for Christmas.
A
'cause
lot of people do, I think.
We would always
We do like lots of tamales.
like that's the kind of stuff my family would do, or like just anything different than the turkey and the ham.
Yeah,
Whatever
no doubt.
was a good meal to feed everybody, that's pretty much what we would do.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that, like we kind of talked about this recently. And if any of you guys do YouTube, you kind of get it. Or if you make videos, you'll understand what we're saying. Man, sometimes like when your channel is centered around something, which is ours is centered around barbecue and smoking meats, when you kind of step outside of your comfort zone or when you try and do a different type of video, it doesn't always do too well. So like, for example, we did the, what was it? Oh, the green bean casserole. And it's like, we didn't smoke anything. We were inside the whole time. And I feel like it's just a different vibe from normal. But we still want to put these recipes out for you guys because we do feel like we are more than just grilling and smoking, even though that's our specialty.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have we did a Thanksgiving series, like 2 years back. We did the pumpkin cake that I've been making for a really long time. That is a really good cake.
I love that cake.
Yeah, we made homemade rolls, which are really, really good.
Delicious.
I'm pretty sure we did a couple other things. Well, we did recipes at that time, but even like the green beans we'll do with just like the bacon and the tomatoes and the onions, things like that.
Yeah.
We have a lot of really, really good tried and true recipes.
that we want to share. We want to
Right.
share. And so that's also why we kind of talked about bringing the recipes back, because that's another way to do it.
Right.
Rather than, just posting long form videos and stuff like that. So I'm going to be real with you guys, be looking forward to lots of Weber Kettle videos and Weber Smoky Mountain videos coming up the rest of the year, going into next year. Like, I really want to, if possible, Outlaw Kettle and Weber Smoky Mountain. Like, I want those to be something that you guys can always come to our channel for.
Right.
I feel like in some way we've grown, right? And I don't want to say we forgot about what we are and who we are, because we obviously haven't. But a lot of the content that people like seeing from us is like Weber Kettle, Weber Smoky Mountain stuff. We want to keep putting that stuff out for you guys. If this podcast gets enough traction, or if we get enough people talking about it, man, we'll buy a couple of different sizes on the Weber Smoky Mountain as well, and try and help you guys learn how to cook on those as well. I mean, it's going to be a learning curve for me, right? But most definitely we can try and do something there. So, man, we love putting videos out for you guys, and we love to hear what you guys want. So let us know, what is a good dinner that you guys would eat on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, if you do Christmas Eve, or both, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking for something a little bit different.
I know one year we did tamales, which was really, really good.
Yeah.
I think even like enchiladas, like, I don't know, just like home style cooking.
Yeah.
Whatever type of cuisine it is, like some sort of home style cooking is always good.
Yeah.
I mean, your mom makes a mean lasagna.
Yeah,
which
very
actually
good.
Penny wants that on her birthday, so that's Christmas Eve right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know what kind of Christmas recipes you guys.
Yeah, we
eat,
don't really do
because-
Christmas Eve anymore, because it's Penny's birthday instead,
Yeah.
which is amazing. So
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much all that we had today. A little bit shorter of an episode than we would normally put out, but we got everything that we wanted to talk about, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you guys are interested in coming out November 23rd, we're going to be doing, I don't know if we're going to call it turkey demo or if we're going to call it turkey taste testing, but just come on out. We'll obviously have some turkey breast for you guys to eat. Maybe, just maybe, we'll have some macaroni or something. I don't know. I can't promise anything. But we'll try and figure something out where you guys can have some good samples out here, a few drinks, be able to hang out, talk with us, come and see the podcast room, come and see the shop for some products if you guys want to. No pressure at all. That's not why we're doing this. We want you guys to just come, try the turkey breast, and then you can go watch the video, and then you can make it for your family. That's what this is about. We want everybody to be able to give a good meal to their family on Thanksgiving Day. So if you guys enjoyed this video and you like our content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to, I guess 100,000 is our next big goal. We're almost to 50. We appreciate all the new subscribers. And if you guys are listening, share this podcast with somebody that you might think likes barbecue or our podcast in general. So I'm looking to hopefully get a few guests coming up. I've talked to Fred Robles, and I've talked to Bill Purvis, which is Rio Valley Meats and Chicken Fried Barbecue, to get on and talk a little bit about their American Royal. I actually think it might be cool if we got them both on at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
I think if we can make that work, we should try and get them both on at the same time, have one really epic American Royal episode, and just talk about how that went for them. I know there was some mishaps for Fred. We'll talk about that with him. But again, we appreciate you guys listening. We appreciate you watching. You got anything else?
Yeah, no, just make sure to follow us on Facebook, because that's where we're going to have all the information on this turkey tasting or whatever, the exact times that we're going to do this on the 23rd.
Yeah, and we'll put a link in the description for our Facebook page. That's a lot of the times where we'll announce our events and stuff like that. So,
Right.
Yeah, most definitely a great point there. But if that's all that Sabrina has, that's all that I have. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.